There they go into the back. The blue line on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park. Scott will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to Talking Trots for another week, and we're coming off a couple of massive weeks. Nullarbor into the Retrovision Fremantle Cup, and this week we have the Breeders' Stakes and also the 4 and 5 year old Championship. So great racing continues, but it has been a big couple of weeks, and a man at the forefront has been Glen Mortimer. Morts, welcome to the show. Looking resplendent in your JP Pacing uniform.
Yes, got the...
it's different. I'm used to seeing you in red.
I've got the matching pyjamas as well.
No doubt you do.
And the underwear. Great to be back here with you again, Michael. It has been a couple of terrific weeks of harness racing, and what a big night last Friday night at GP, the Retrovision Fremantle Cup, and it didn't disappoint.
No.
What a race.
Yeah.
29.36. Pity it wasn't 29.56, but it was a great race, and just set up a real cracking finish. But a great card right across. Joey James kicked off the night at $51 for Denny Roberts in a close finish, and then Lusaka, who was the class of the race. Denny drove him very patiently to bring up a double in the first two. Middle Page got the soft run and was too good for Jetstar on the line for your man, Lindsay Harper. Steal the Show just led and won for Denny again, bringing up a very early treble. Bet the House won the Caduceus Club for Vogue in a great battle with Wave Rider. It was a terrific race, and it was a real high-quality race. Catch a Wave, what else can we say? It was just a brilliant performance. That sprint down the back 4 wide after 2,900, when everybody was concerned that he'd never gone beyond 22.40. Looks like he could have
Great drive, Quinny, especially after the scratching of the one.
Yeah.
The option was there to go forward, and she would have led if she wanted to, but grabbed up, and it was Quinny-like speed, wasn't it?
It was amazing. It was just a great race. Ashani Girl was too good. Celesio Matuka, unfortunately, just rolled out, just nosed out Rolling Fire.
Yeah.
Per Adua at Astra controlled the race, driven by Chris Lewis, and Poppy's Last Dance, a good winner in the last. So it was a big night. Double to Team Bond and a treble to Denny Roberts. At Northern, we had a double for Peter Anderson and a double for your man, Aldo Cortopassi. Saturday night at Narrogin, Lang Inwood, a training double, Shannon Savelko, a driving double, and Chris Vogt, a treble. Gee, he's in very good form, the man in the pink cart, Chris Vogt.
Isn't he?
Monday at Pinjarra, training double for Gary Hall Senior, driving double to Dylan Edgerton Green, and a driving double to our man tonight, Stuart McDonald. Tuesday at GP, training and driving double to Aidan DeCampo, training double to Chris Folk, and a driving treble for Chris Folk. So he's had a great week, but
hasn't he? Yeah.
Fantastic week of harness racing, Michael, and it kicked off with that unbelievable Retrovision Fremantle Cup.
Yeah,
great race.
Our guest tonight is Stuart McDonald. I just realised that he was driving Celesio Matuka to beat us. So if I knew that, I might have changed the guess. But tell you what, he's driving in great form, isn't he, Stuart?
He is really driving in very good
almost
form.
got away with the Fremantle Cup.
Driving.
They didn't actually look like they were going that quicker, like to the eye, and then you looked up at the times, you went,
unbelievable.
Yeah, and almost got away with it with Jumpin' Jack Mack, and we'll chat to Stu in just a moment. But it has been a big couple of weeks. Your horse, Mighty Ronaldo, geez, it was a big run. He was last on the pegs, going to just about the 400 metre mark almost.
It was incredible. I actually missed him live because he was hard to pick up, and then all of a sudden you could just see him motoring home down the... he was amazing.
Yeah, a couple of good runs
in
that race. Penny Tiger went well.
Penny Tiger went well. Jumpin' Jack Mack in front went well. Obviously the winner went well. Some great And up on the stage, giving the trophy out, and I had the chance to talk to very quickly to Kate Gath, and she was just saying, your racing over here is just amazing. It's just full of action. It's just amazing compared to what some of the racing is like on the Eastern State. She was blown away.
Haven't they been good to have here? Andy and Kate. They've done so much media and so much publicity, and gone back and done interviews at Victoria and sung the praises of their time over here. And I think it only helps the carnivals going forward, building into the next years, because it can be hard to get horses to come over here. Obviously the flights are difficult, but even into the slot race, he wasn't coming catch a wave until late in the piece, and it's been so good to have him over here, and you know, congratulations to him for getting the most. They've won the two big races. They've
won the
come
two
here
big
for.
ones, yeah. And I mean, all credit to Rob Tomlinson and Regency Foods. Did a great job in
and beyond the scenes, Adam
event.
Hamilton and Cam Brown did a lot of work. They're both very close to Andy, and
it was great. And Andy was good enough to come on the show, and just a real likeable person, very open and honest about his thoughts, and obviously just one of the, a fantastic trainer. And Kate Gath, wow, can she drive? What a horse. And just goes to show, Michael, that Gloucester Park on a Friday night, there is no better place to watch harness racing.
No, it's certainly been great, and as you said, it's been a great 2 weeks, and everything that came together over the 2 weeks, and even the interviews that we did with for our social media
great.
With Kate and Denny and Kyle were really well received, and obviously Scotty's promotional video that launched the barrier draw as well was fantastic and got a heap of views. So
I think it was
really good.
Yeah, I think it was great. And year one was
the racing was great as well. So
the racing was fantastic, but year one promotion was okay.
Yeah.
This year, I think we've seen
it's
more and more
again, and I'm sure we can prove it again.
Build on that. And the race is just going to continue to grow in stature, and it's certainly now got to be very appealing for Eastern States people when they look at Catch a Wave come across, Better Zip It come across, win. There's a chance of the $300,000 Group 1 Retribution Fremantle Cup the week after. Very appealing. So hopefully next year we can get some more horses across like Catch a Wave and the Gaths because they just added so much to the carnival. It was great.
It was a great race last week, and let's get into it. Before we introduce our guest tonight, Stuart McDonald, let's go back to last week. The Retrovision Fremantle Cup Grand Circuit, 300,000. Jumpin' Jack Mack, he's set a frantic pace and he's kicking out in front, but here comes Catch a Wave.
To Jumping Jack Mack, who needs to respond, and then Minstrel, Penny Tiger around the turn. Catch a Wave, looks like it's a double here for Kate Gath. She raced up, took the lead. Penny Tiger's getting out. Jumping Jack Mack is fighting on, and then Hot and Treacherous. Catch a Wave in front from Jumping Jack Mack. Penny Tiger flies late. Catch a Wave in front. Catch a Wave has won. Catch a Wave first, second Jumping Jack Mack.
Yes, a double to Catch a Wave in the Nullarbor into the Retrovision Fremantle Cup, but Gallen in defeat last week was Jumpin' Jack Mack, and his driver joins us to discuss this week's program in Stuart McDonald. Stuart, welcome to the program.
Yep, thanks for having me on, boys.
Mate, you went very close last week almost made it 2 Fremantle Cups for yourself. He was exceptionally gallant, Jumpin' Jack Mack.
Yeah, he certainly was. I was obviously too proud of his effort. Unfortunate that he can't seem to get a Group 1 next to his name or a big race, but he certainly had the right amount of excuses to say, that for reasons that he's gone down. And last week was sort of no different. He went super, which just got beaten by the better horse on the night.
And obviously, probably your tactics changed about 20 minutes before the race, did they? With Lavrajo being a late scratching, and it opened the door for someone to charge from a little bit wider to find the front, and that was yourself and Jumpin' Jack Mack.
Yeah, it did. It really threw sort of a spanner in the works on what I was going to do. I was pretty set on we were going back that night, and Matt Young did the interview in the parade ring, and I was telling him I still don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing until I'm going up to the gate, and he was playing around behind the gate, and I give him a smack on the arse, and I said, well, we're going forward now, so that's what happened, and it nearly paid off.
Sometimes, though, Stu, those times when you actually don't get a lot of time to think about it probably is good, because I'm sure for days in the lead up to the race you were going through all the different scenarios about what if Laverajo leads, what if Penny Tiger leads, where am I going to go, backwards, forwards. All of a sudden, 20 minutes later, 20 minutes before the race, it's just all thrown out the window. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it can work in your favour sometimes, and yeah, I try. I still do get nervous. So it's I don't know if it calmed me down or not. I think I feel the same. I thought I was more of a chance once that happened, and I was nearly proven right with that thought. But yeah, it can certainly throw a spanner in the works when something like that happens, because it's obviously very rare. But I think we handled it pretty well.
Did an excellent job, and the horse led, and he is one of the unluckiest horses in WA. Going back a week before that, his run in the Nullarbor when he copped quite a bit of interference on the turn, really hit the line well after balancing back up again.
Yeah, he went super in the Nullarbor. It was just unlucky. He just copped that check, and yeah, it is what it is. It's a bit unfortunate that it's happened to him a couple of times, but yeah, obviously super happy with the way the horse is going, and he's obviously pulled up well because he's backing up again this week. So as long as he keeps going around, stays sound, everything stays good with him, he'll get a big race one day.
And he he continues to improve. He used to just be that sit and sprint horse, but now he's got a couple of strings to his bow where if you do need to use him, that he's got to be there at the end for you as well.
Yeah, for sure. He sort of, if you burnt him early last time in that, or previous times before that, if you burnt him early and didn't find the rail, you're probably in a bit of trouble. But now he can burn early. He can still be in the moving line and still finish off sort of like he did in the Bunbury Cup. We did a lot of work early and then was still charging home late, and he burnt hard over 2900 last week and was still right there in the finish. So yeah, he's just a far better horse this year, and I think he will keep getting better as time goes on.
Like you said, I thought he was exceptional in the Bunbury Cup. He did do quite a bit of work and managed to get up and win. And then on Friday night, to your point, as you said, you were just beaten by a better horse. Catch a Wave was outstanding in his time over here in WA.
Yeah, exactly. There's no shame at all being beaten by Catch a Wave. He's a Miracle Mile winner, a Chariots winner, and he's earned nearly $2 million. Or if he hasn't, he'd be close to over that now. So he's a superstar horse, and yeah, we obviously didn't get all the breaks our way, but we're still right there in the finish, and it's no shame to go down to Catch Wavy. He's a real good horse.
And on Friday night, Jumpin' Jack Mac backs up again. Race 6, small field of 6. Sometimes these small fields can be a little bit trickier. Stu, you've got Steal the Show on the inside with Denny Roberts, and Too Fast, Too Serious on your outside. It was a fantastic run last week. Do you see this being single file?
Yeah, I do. It's a bit of a shame, but it's also a good thing for racing. That Jack can go as big as he did last week in the Fremantle Cup. You step out a week later and think that he should just be winning, but he looks like he'll probably be running second to Steal the Show, because it looks like it's going to get an easy lead and be pretty hard to come of its back or to be out in the breeze from the 1200 sort of area and to beat the horse from there. So I do think it'll be single file, and it'll be fairly slow run affair early, and that'll make it very hard because Steal the Show's going super at the moment. So it'll be very hard to beat. But I know if we do get anything go our way, that Jack's going to be taking advantage of it, and he'll be very hard to hold out.
Yeah, the tab touch market for that, Morts, is 165 for Steal the Show, and pretty solid, and Jumpin' Jack Mac 215, and then out to Too Fast, Too Serious 750, but they're the runners under double figures. But a market in 2, they look like leader behind leader, and probably fighting at the finish.
You would think so. It's amazing to think Jumpin' Jack Mac is $2.15 in the field, just the way he's going, in 2 of the biggest races here in WA after winning the Bunbury Cup. But like Stuart said, more than likely a single file behind Steal the Show. We know how good Danny is at rating them, so it's going to make it difficult. But you kick off the night. Stu, race 1, number 11, Thompson Bay. it's not a bad draw behind Duty Bound there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he's not quite going his absolute best at the moment, and even Hayden sort of acknowledged that he's not quite as sharp. But he does go through periods like that for a bit, so he's in the right grade. He will be winning one of these very shortly. It's not too bad a barrier. It wouldn't surprise me if he was able to win, but I'd probably wait till he gets right back into form to be tipping him from back rows, that's all.
Might be a little something each way by the sound of that. And then into race number 3, another really good live chance here. You've got Faster Than Dad for Michael George. Once again, drawn well, one off in the back line. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, he was disappointing first up, and that's sort of been the trend with his trials too. But Georgie's backed him up again, so obviously something must be going right at home for him to keep racing him. So it looks like 3 the Pecks would be a good spot for him to be, and then if there's any sort of speed early or any genuine tempo through the run, hopefully he can improve on his last couple of runs and get his way into the money.
Yeah, Michael George certainly has got them going extremely well. And then in the next race 4, you've got one there for Corey Peterson. Nullarbor Navajo in the Wasbar Breeders' Stakes, which is a very nice race. That would be fantastic.
We've got Artie's by the Seaside, the New Zealand Oaks winner, and one first up, $1.20 in from $1.28 in barrier 5. Let It Linger, the pole marker at $7.50. A Shanae Girl at $5.50, drawn 10. And Nullarbor Navajo for Corey and Stu at $11. Stu, did you get the choice of a Shanae Girl and Nullarbor Navajo, or we always got to drive the 11?
I had the choice, obviously, with Junior away. Senior puts me on his ones first, but I decided I wanted to stick with Nullarbor Navajo. I've got a lot of time for her. I think she's a really, really nice mare, and it's a shame about the barrier draw. I thought if I drew the lead that I actually could beat Artie by the Seaside, but from back there with a horse in 2 and 3 that are both going to restrain to get back to the rail, and Artie by the Seaside looks like it's going to roll the front. So from there, she's probably just a really good place chance, but she's a nice mare, and when she draws inside those better ones, I think she's capable of beating them, but just need to get the barrier draws.
That's a pretty good push for Nullarbor Navajo to choose in front of a Shan Girl. Nice each way price. We'll have to, like you said, follow up when we get a good draw. Now the next race is one that we are all looking forward to. Can we get...
we'll get a market. The Tab Touch market, Mr. Smarty for Stewie, $3.40 into $1.95. And the clear favourite from barrier 7, we have Sky Lord, who opened the favourite at $3 out to $4.40. I'm the Black Flash is $4.20 out to $5.50. And the other runner under double figures is Mr. Smarty's stablemate and the Derby winner Sky Lou at $3.80.
It's a great field, Stu.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's a lot of quality horses in it. I think my drive's the best of the lot, and I'll certainly be driving them that way, and we'll push them forward from barrier 6 now with the scratching. So we'll work them forward with the breeze, and I'd say Skylord should be in front, and we'll rate our way outside of it. And from the 1200 on, probably make it a pretty decent race for it, I think. And I think, he's a high quality and he should be winning, but.
Yeah, geez, Hawley's got a strong group of 4-year-olds, hasn't he? Mr. Smarty, Skyloo, the Derby winner. I'm the Black Flash. There's a couple of others as well that go pretty well as 4-year-olds, and it's nice to have the pick of those, Stu.
Yeah, it's nice to have that for 1 week at least, and we'll take advantage. Hopefully, you can take advantage of it and pick the right one. And yeah, I feel like I've got a lot of time for Skyloo and the Black Flash. They are both, like I said, very nice horses. But I think Mr. Smarty's just a level above them, and he's just so raw, and the talent that he has and what he can do at home. He just gives you the feeling that he's going to take himself right up to the Grand Circuit level eventually in the next probably year or 18 months.
Yeah, I saw some comments. That you made about Mr. Smarty. You obviously have an extremely high opinion of him.
Yeah, we certainly do. I only drove him the once last time in, which was in the Derby, and it wasn't the best steer, and he was pretty luckless at the same time. But I only drove him in track work once before that, so I jumped on him, Saturday, and for the first time this time in, and just what he was able to do on the track, I sort of come off with goosebumps to the way he works. I haven't had a horse work like that in a long time, and the way he was able to do it was so easy, and just felt like he was in cruise control, and it just gave me a lot of confidence. And I then you sort of said you can make your choice after the barrier draws on what one of the three you want to drive, but it didn't really matter where he drew. I was pretty keen on driving him for sure.
That's a big push, and
I'm
I've got to tell you,
I'll definitely be sure the $1.95 off the back of that.
At $1.95, I think I might have to log into my Tab Touch account, but that's a big push, and it's a great field. And we haven't even spoken about horses like the Mickey Taker. It's just a real high-class quality field we've got there.
And I think it goes to show as well how good this crop of 4-year-olds is. It's the 4 and 5-year-old race, and it's just dominated by the 4-year-olds.
4-year-olds, No, it's a absolutely cracking field. We've spoken about Jumpin' Jack Mac. Then in race 8, he's never been better. Drawn the outside of the front, only a 7-horse field. Looks a fairly competitive field as well. What are your chances in that one, Stu?
After the performance of post-game last week, now it's got Barrier 1, I thought probably a place is just best for him from out there. It's not a bad field for a small little field that it is, but yeah, the post-game was enormous last week, and now it's got Barrier 1. I'd say it'll be very hard to beat, but yeah, we can probably just try run top 3 with him, and that'll be a good effort from him from out there, I think. And
in the last taxi this was an absolutely huge run,
wasn't it?
Last start, when it beat the very short price favourite Naze Vera at Narrogin, which would have been Saturday night. Terrific run. Drawn Barrier 5 in this, once again for Michael George. They are going extremely well for him. How do you see this one unfolding, Stu, to round out the night?
Yeah, she's going super. It's just a step up in grade, and the barrier sort of just in the middle of nowhere. But she's flying. George has got her going very well. There are obviously a couple of really nice horses inside her and outside her in the barrier draw, but she can figure in the top 4. I think, like if she finished 4th or better, I think that would be sort of par for where she is at the moment in her career against those better ones like Exceptional Armour. So she's just a rough place chance, I thought.
All right, who's your best at Gloucester Park on?
I think we know that, Michael.
Mr. Smarty. Is there anything else for us? Do we just load up on Mr. Smarty?
I think Mr. Smarty is the one, but I hope I don't overdo it and get nutted by the stablemate on the line. I'll be very upset.
Mortz knows all about that. Don't worry, he has nightmares about Sky Lou.
Yes.
Now and then Saturday, you've got a big weekend because you're going to Central Wheat Belt on Sunday. But Saturday, you've actually got a couple of starters for yourself in Madam Publisher. And also the State of Art, who both go around probably favourite at Bunbury in races 3 and 4 respectively. You're looking for a double there?
Well, it'll be nice. I probably don't expect it too much. I expect Madam Publisher to win her race. The other fella, he needs probably a couple of things to go his way. If he found the front, I think it'd be hard to beat. Just not sure he will. He's an okay horse, but I think that she can be quite a nice horse next time in Madam Publisher. I thought she'd be ready to step up this time, but so far her work's been good, but I just thought it would go to another level. But the more she goes on, I think the better she'll get, and yeah, I think she can be a nice horse in the future, but that looks like a good race for her, and not a great barrier, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. She should be able to beat that field from anywhere, and yeah, a lot of confidence with her. The other guy, like I said, goes good, but needs a couple of things to go his way.
Well, Stuart, it's a big couple of days for you. You're driving in great form, and hopefully it continues for you with Junior away, and you're able to take advantage of it. How long's Junior away for? Is it just this week, or do you get a couple of weeks as the number one driver?
I believe he's back for next Friday's meeting.
Okay. Oh, at least you get 1 week as the number one. And tell you what, though, not being number 2 isn't too bad. You pick up a few good drives.
Yeah, for sure, it's not too bad, and there's less pressure when I'm number 2. Now what Junior's away, I've got to cop all the number 1 pressure, even though he's number 1 driver. I'm not supposed to be as good as him, so I don't know why the expectations stay the same, but they do. So yeah, just got to focus up and make sure I get the job done.
Well, I tell you what, you've been driving in absolutely brilliant form, and for quite a while too. And your efforts with Jumpin' Jack Mac have been great in those big races. So well done.
No, much appreciated, Morse. Thanks very much.
Good on you, Stewie. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the track.
Cheers, Nick. Bye.
Good on you, Stuart McDonald there. And as you said, geez, he's driving in fantastic form, and
certainly is.
You can back him with confidence.
On the country tracks, he's been driving really well.
Yeah.
In the Metro, and just in the big races, that's when it matters, Michael.
Yeah.
You know, just that's when it really matters, and he's been in great form. So, boy, that was a big push for Mr. Smarty,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tipping the $1.95 went last.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
It's already been well supported. I'm tipping it'll keep coming in.
Yeah, I mean, did you say it was $3 something?
Yeah,
into,
what was it?
Which is extremely generous price.
Yeah, $3.40 it opened up. Don't know how long that lasted.
Probably
Couldn't
about,
have been too long.
Probably about a nanosecond, but
Yeah.
when you look, it is a very good field. Very good field, but he's got a very big
just
opinion.
happy to cruise to the death and
Yeah,
dictate.
1,200 out too, mind you, not 1,200 out.
It's a good race, the 4 and 5 year old, and as we've spoken, these 4-year-old croppers just outstanding.
Yep, certainly are.
And continue to do great things. And Mort's, I'm tipping you would have been very interested in the announcement this week regarding the Eureka.
Yes.
And Wayne Loader announcing his pick for the Eureka for the Riverina. And I tell you what, this horse is very, very fast. I don't know whether you've seen too many of his races. His win in the Riverina Championship, the TAB Championship, was just staggering, and was switched across heels, sort of balanced up, and then just went whooshka.
Yeah, it's good when they can do that. They can just balance quickly and accelerate like that. So, look, it's going to be a great race, and looking forward to seeing the field come together.
Yeah, your boy went straight out after the Nullarbor.
Yes, he did. Pulled up well after he just galloped in the turn there. So, just obviously a little bit of concern to make sure that everything was okay. But no, he pulled up really well, and he's just going to have a short break, and because that's the first Saturday, I think, in September is the Eureka, so that'll come around pretty quickly.
Won't it?
Yes. But, it should be a great race. 3 and 4-year-old Australian bred only.
Yes.
So it should be a great race.
Yes, so there's still a few spots up for grabs, obviously. Queensland have a race, the Hayden, and they go in it via that way. And Tasmania also have a race. So there's not too many spots left. I know the Tab, the Singo, they had a race for the Singo last year. I'm not too sure they're going to run the Singo this year. They Singleton might just pick a horse.
Pick a horse, yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens there, but that hasn't been, I don't think, discussed. They're obviously looking. So really interesting to see how it shape up. But Frankie Ferocious hasn't got a slot yet. So obviously he's got a chance. If he wanted to go back through that Queensland race, he could and would probably dominate. But you'd think that someone would want to snap him up. You
would have thought so.
But
should be a good.
But
race.
of the ones that have been announced, it's been obviously yourself and two from the Hewitt family, and Captain's Knock, and now Extreme C. So yeah, it's coming together. But obviously the winner was actually the last horse in last year, Summit Bloodstock. Yeah, they were they waited and they waited, and I think they approached a few different people before landing on Encipher, and Encipher came out with Luke McCarthy in the bike and got the cash in the inaugural Eureka, which was a great race. So
certainly was, and looking forward to this year's.
Once again, there's going to be a lot of hot discussion around it, and I'm sure it'll be. Yeah, last year was fantastic. Like the quality of that crop with Catch a Wave and Leap to Fame and Encipher, and it was really good. So
that's right.
This year, I don't know whether there's a Leap to Fame or Capture a Wave in there, but
hopefully
maybe
potential up and coming. Leap to Fame, but a lot of the horses have got a long way to go to get anywhere near Larry. That's for sure.
Yes,
he's a star. It was a great week of racing, Michael, in general.
Yep.
As we spoke about, tough win by Taxi It Is in Narrogin. A nice win by Mungatahi in the Peter Dempster Memorial at Northam on Friday night. And some run American Monarch drew the outside of the front, ran into the gate, galloped, settled last, and still managed to round up Storm the Beach, which is a talented horse from Katie Howlett, very talented horse.
Going around the 4 and 5 year old.
and managed to round it up. So that was a massive win, and also a very big win by Plastered for Chris Folk. And Captain Bligh looks a nice type for Gary Hall Senior.
Well, I think he's another of the 4-year-old crop that he's got.
Yeah, he won his third in a row at Pinjarra. So there was some really interesting country racing throughout the week. It was good. I love to sit back on a Monday, Tuesday and just go through and have a look, and some really good racing.
Yep,
really
sure
good
is.
racing.
Sure is. All right. This segment, Morts, is brought to us by the sponsor of the Fremantle Cup in Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where, as it said in the Fremantle Cup speech, RAC members receive an additional 5% every day. I get the plug in as much as I can, Morts,
Yes,
for you.
no, I do appreciate it very much.
Delivered it beautifully.
Yes, he did. No, it was very good. Very good, but we're very proud to be associated with harness racing in WA, Gloucester Park, and all of the other, with Bunbury,
Yep.
Bustleton, Pinjarra. We don't have a store in Narrogin, but no, we'd be keen to
Yep.
sponsor harness racing
Plenty of red
in WA.
around the tracks.
Certainly
Plenty of
is,
red.
and the support we get from the harness industry is great, and we appreciate the business. But Michael, it's our bonus sale.
Oh, here we go.
Started yesterday, so bonuses everywhere. Go into your local Retrovision store. There is bonuses on lots of products. So never been a better time to get into your local Retrovision store.
It sure has not. All right, it's time to take a break. Now, interesting, Stewie said that he had the choice between
Shani
Nullarbor,
girl.
Navajo and the Shani girl, and has opted to stay with Corey Peterson's, who obviously was very good when she won at last start. And but a Shani girl, she's an outstanding mare.
Certainly is, and Emily Savelko has picked up the drive.
So as we go to the break, let's listen to a Shani girl last week, just proving too good. This time, Gary Hall Jr. in the bike.
Pretty quickly around the turn, a Charney girl has raced up to Let It Linger, trying to get out Miss Sassy and then Stormy Skies, but Hall looked confident. A Charney girl shot to the front. Let It Linger, Miss Sassy's into the clear, but a Charney girl has drawn clear. Too classy for them. Let It Linger, Miss Sassy, Valhalla Miss trying to get fourth from Stormy Skies, but a Charney girl wins it well from Let It Linger, Miss Sassy. Brave effort, Valhalla Miss gets fourth.
There's always a lot more in store for you at Retrovision, like Retrovision's lowest price guarantee. If you find a lower price on a same-stocked item, we'll beat it. There's our 60-day price promise, where we'll refund you 120% of the difference if you find a lower advertised price on any purchase. Plus, RAC members save an extra 5% every day of the year. After 60 years, a lot has changed, but there's still a lot more in store at Retrovision.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
28-2, and then you came along. It's Wave Rider and Bet the House in a ding-dong go. Wave Rider the inside, Bet the House the outside, then nose for nose. Wave Rider, Bet the House draws to the front. Vake's done it, and Bet the House won the Caduceus. Bet the House first from Wave Rider in a terrific...
Yeah, the $50,000 Caduceus Club Classic for the 3-year-olds, and Bet the House. Morts, they say winners win. This horse is a winner. 5 out of 8 with 2 minors, and the more you win, the better the price. $6 he went around.
Yes, he had been in extremely good form, very well driven by Chris Folk, but in great form, and got that nice race win on Friday night, and won well. Was good.
Yeah, geez, Wave Riders was good. Good to see him back. He won the Classic, and then obviously there was something
wrong, yeah,
and in the back end. But I tell you what, this time in he's been fantastic, and he's got to be the sort of the 3-year-old to get beat as they progress through as well.
As we get into Westbury Classic, Derby, it should be great.
Yeah, he's got to be one of the main horses up there. I think Wave Rider, but don't Bet the House. Jeez,
like you said, just keeps winning, and one of those horses that every time he steps out, he's a better price, and still continues. So, and like I said earlier on, Chris Folk is driving unbelievably well.
Sure is.
Yep.
Doubles, trebles.
He's good form. He's got plenty in on Friday night.
Yes. Now, before we get to our man Bomber Hill, this segment's brought to you by Steel Blue Boots, built for comfort, made for work. well over 700 stockists nationwide, and they are a mark of true skill.
They certainly are, and I think our man was seen weeping on Saturday afternoon. He was out at Steel Blue Oval out there in Bassendean, who, as we know, they've been the major sponsor of that oval for 20-odd years.
Yeah.
And they had their 90th celebration for the Swan Districts Football Club. And the mighty Eastmantle Football Club unfortunately upset their day when a young man kicked a goal after the siren to beat Swan Districts. And I think
That would
somebody...
have put a dampener on things.
Oh, apparently it was quite a dampener, and I'm not sure. I think the big fella might have even shed a tear or two. But out there at Steel Blue Oval, like you said, Michael, they are built for comfort, made for work, a mark of true skill.
Yeah, and you can see their entire range at steelblue.com. All right. Let's welcome into the program our form expert, Scott Bomber Hill. Bomber, how are you, mate?
Very well, thanks, Brad. And yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Tell you what, it's been a great couple of weeks of racing. We weren't on last week because of Anzac Day, but tell you what, the free-for-allers, the 3-year-olds, the racing's been fantastic.
Yeah, the quality's just been immense over the last month or so, and it's been some great viewing, that's for sure.
Yes. Now, we'll get into the tips. There's 10 races tomorrow night at Gloucester Park, the first at 5:21. The main races are race 4, the Wasber Breeders' Stakes, Group 3, $50,000. The Westside Auto Wholesalers 4 and 5-year-old Championships, Group 3, $50,000. And there's also a free-for-all worth $31,000, race number 6. 10 races on the card tomorrow night. Now, Tab Touch have... how many markets have they got? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So races 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up, but Bomber never likes to make our job easy. He's got away from those. So we're going to see what we come up with, Bomber. We're going to kick off with the first race, and in the first race, it's Give It Your Best Shot with Ultimate Stiper at Allwood Stud. Over the 21:30 metres, Wall Street Girl, who is very consistent at the moment, run 4 out of its past 5 seconds. Should be in the market. Judy Bowen was really good last start, drawn outside. We've also got G. Smith, who never runs a bad race, and on the back line, inside the back line, we've got Star Govs and Thompson Bay for Hayden Reeves and Stuart McDonald, who was our guest earlier. Bomber, how do you see race number 1?
Yeah, well, despite drawing the second row, I thought Thompson Bay actually come up with a really good draw here. He follows out the likely leader in Judy Bound, and Wall Street Girl, a pretty risky conveyance and slow beginner from the pole. There's some chance he could land as close as leaders back, I think, and in this grade, he's got to take some holding out. He's ran home in 57.1, 56.4 and 57.2 at his last 3 in much better grade, and covered a fair bit of ground there as well. So hopefully they soften the leader up a touch, and this bloke can be all over the top of them late. Murphy's Law says that Judy Bound leads and wins after I was just kept backing it as it drifted last start and got beat a half head by $180 chance or something. So that's always a concern. But, I do like Thompson Bay in this class.
Certainly a class dropper, there's no doubt about that, Bomber, and not too badly drawn there on the back line. So race number 1, horse 11, Thompson Bay for Hayden Reeves and Stuart McDonald, who was on a little bit earlier. And what's the staking? What's the staking plan here, Bomber?
2-unit bet. Mort's is definitely the class in the race, and I just think, I really do like the draw. The more I look at it, the more I like it, and he's going to land a lot closer than he has been recently, so I think he'll give us a really good sight.
What price do you think we'll get?
I think he'll be at least $5.
Okay.
From the second row, the two will certainly be favourite, I think, and his figure form isn't great, Thompson Bay, though he's been going much better than that would reflect. So, I think somewhere around the $5 mark will be fine.
Oh, it says $16 here on the Harness website.
I'll be very, very happy if that pops up, Mike.
Okay, there we go. Race number 2 is the Fly with Fly Like an Eagle mobile pace over the 21:30 race. This is a really good race. We have Franco Ecuador, who disappointed but had to sit in the breeze last week, has drawn the pole. Vanderbilt for Ray Williams has been going well. Armour X Factor. Luca, who we know is very, very talented. Lusaka was a winner last week. They went really fast for it, and Denny presented at the right time and got the cash. And the top 5 looked like the 5 in the market. We do have Maclani, Classic Choice, Dominus Factum and Carrera Mac, who all have their fair share of ability, but it looks like the market will be the top 5. Bomber, how do you see race number 2?
Yeah, I'm pretty keen, this guy, actually, Lusaka. I've loved the way he's come back, and he's done plenty of bullocking work. And then last time he got to sit back and watch it all unfold. But I thought from the draw he could just tag Luca across, and I think the pole marker holds up. Vanderbilt most likely jumps on its back, and Armour X Factor 3 pegs. So I think there's a really good chance he lands 1-1 and probably 1-2 at worst. And if that scenario unfolds, then he's going to be very hard to hold out over the last 600. He's just savaging the line, and I think it just looks to set up perfectly for him. So I'm really, really keen.
I agree with the map 100%, Bomber, and really nice horse Lusaka, who was patiently driven back in the field by Denny Roberts last week before scoring, and I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see it happen again tomorrow night. So race number 2, horse number 5, Lusaka for Team Bond, driven by Denny Roberts. What's our staking plan here, Bomber?
Yeah, 3 unit bet more. He's the banker for the night. As I said, the more, and you've given me even more confidence. The more I look at it, the more I think he just sits up there perfectly, and you look to pop out whenever he likes, and I think he's the winner.
Don't know about confidence, Bomber, but maybe the kiss of death from me. But no, I do like the horse Lusaka. I think it's very, very talented. So mind you, there are some other very talented horses in the race. So promises to be a terrific race, that's for sure.
Well, I don't think it would have been out of place in the 4 and 5-year-old. Lusaka, he's a 4-year-old, and certainly certainly up to those. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been out of place. All right, it's time to take a break. And as we go to the break, we spoke about with Stewie, Steal the Show versus Jumpin' Jack Mack, and it looks like they're going to probably jump into single file, Morts, and it's going to come down to whether Steal the Show can hold off a fast finish in Jumpin' Jack Mack. It's radio. You can.
Sorry.
You can say yes. You don't have to nod. Morts has forgot where he is.
Apologies, Michael. I was nodding, then realising, well, that's probably not too good for radio. That's okay.
Thanks.
But,
thanks for your agreement, Morts.
Yes, correct.
As we go to the break, let's go back a week and let's listen to Steal the Show. Winning at Gloucester
Now you don't
Park.
know where you are, Michael. So
you got me winning at Gloucester Park, beating Too Fast, Too Serious.
Too Fast, Too Serious looking to get out. Al Capone struggles on the inside. Galactic Star in the straight though, and the leader is out in front. Steal the Show. Galactic Star coming through on the inside. Too Fast, Too Serious down the outside, but she's got the 600 winners. The Duchess Denny goes home to win it well on the odds-on favourite. Steal the Show from Too Fast, Too Serious.
Hi, I'm Steve Sell from Loans 123. We are car finance specialists. We can help you find the loan you're looking for, your new car, and help find a home for your old one. If you want a new or used car but feel uncomfortable visiting car yards on your own, we can help and often save you money. For a stress-free way of buying and financing your next car, who do you see? Steve Sell at loans123.com.au or call 1800 100 100.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Holding it together here, Piradua at Astra's looking good on the turn. From GovStars, Richie Reactor, Wall Street Girl is running on out wider. Piradua at Astra goes for home. Wall Street Girl trying hard, but Piradua at Astra clear from Wall Street Girl and GovStars, and Piradua at Astra does it all the way from Wall Street Girl, GovStars, Thompson Bay.
Yeah, he held up Piradua at Astra, and it was $250 for Chris Folk. Chris Folk the trainer, Chris
Driven
Lewis.
by Chris Lewis, yes.
Yeah, jumped in the cart. And, of course, Bob Fowler owns it by Follow the Stars. And he goes around Morts tomorrow night at Gloucester Park in race number 8. And he goes around at $21. Post-game is the favourite at $170, who was super last week, as Stewie said. He's never been better. $3 on the second line, and then Advantage for Team Bond at $7.50. That's race 8 tomorrow night over the 21.
Yeah, nice race.
Yeah, it is. It's a good race.
Chris Vogt once again electing not to drive Per Udua at Astra and sticking with the pole marker.
Well, it went super.
Which is
sorry, it went super.
Did go very well. He actually did make mention last week that even though he wasn't driving Per Udua at Astra, that he thought it was going to be unbelievably hard to beat. Okay. He was right. Just driven by Chris Lewis.
Yeah, there we go. Now, this segment, Watch, is brought to you by Loans 123, Car Loans, Debt Consolidation, or your personal finance. Who do you see?
The Noob Nut, Steve Sell.
Yeah, sure can. And you can catch him at loans123.com.au, or the very easy to remember 1-800
100 100.
And
I'll tell you what, I just about needed him last Friday night. When Rolling Fire went down, that was just about time to take the shoe off and call Stevie on 1-800 100 100.
Yeah, it's it was a bit tough. Your horses didn't go too bad though. You obviously Ronaldo went super in the Fremantle Cup and
just could have run third. Might have helped the call.
Big difference, very big difference. And Rolling Fire was still really good first up after.
Very good.
Had
very good.
His fibrillation and then all that time off. So, yeah, the run will do him the world of good. All right, let's get straight back into the preview, and we'll go to race number 3. And this is the Pegasus and Mill Feeds made in WA for WA. Pace 21.30 metres. We got one smart fella on the pole for Gemma Hayman and Chris Vogt. Rock and Roll Artists for Aidan De Campo and Trent Wheeler is going to be a major force in the race. Rockmeister is always runs a good race. He's first up. And we've got Stuart McDonald driving faster than Dad for Michael George off the back line. Lucid Dreams has been going very well, although he's probably his best asset's that brilliant gate speed, sort of nullified by drawing the outside of the back line. But Bomber, race number 3, another really competitive race. Which way are you going?
Yeah, it is, Rats, but thought Faster Than Dad had a class advantage over these, and despite drawing the second line, it probably doesn't set up too badly for him. He was a pass mark when first up, but he'll no doubt strip fitter after that and 3 trial runs prior. Before a spell, he chased home Steal the Show, Valentine's Brook, Chow Patch and Galactic Star, which is exceptional form for a race like this. And he's a horse that's got electric turn of foot when he held up for one run, and I think that could just about be the case here. And if he gets that bit of luck over the last 400 or 600, then he can be steaming home over the top.
Yeah, like Stu said a bit earlier on, he wasn't 100% happy with his first up run, but backed up again, which gives him a lot of confidence. So race number 3, horse number 11, Faster Than Dad for Michael George. And as we said, they are going very well for Michael, driven by Stewie McDonald. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, just the one unity. We will need a touch of luck, and like I said, that your first one, didn't have flashing red lights or anything over it, but I thought he was okay in much better grade. So back to this grade, I think he's one to hold out late.
Very good.
All right, and then we go all the way down to race number 9 on the card. And as we have a look at the field, no tab touch market for race number 9, but it's over the 1730 metres. It's the Larkhill Vets, your equine specialist pace, and we've got Baltic Ace drawn the pole, Rock and Rufus on its outside. Eve Crocker is first up in WA for a friend of ours, Gary Crocker, and Walk Proud actually got a share in
Rolling Fire. She's barrier 6, and Class and Smarts also should be in the market. Just looking at
this race. Yeah, so another race, competitive, race number 9, Bomber. Which way are we going?
Yeah, real speculative bet here. Eve Crocker, who comes here after plying her trade in New South Wales and then one run in Victoria. You know, I'll preface this with saying I've got zero knowledge of New South Wales form, and time's been nothing at Menangle, so I can't take any real guide out of the form, but I've got a huge respect for the Nathan Turvey stable, and they almost always run well first up in WA when he presents them, and he places them well, and not many actually come to GP first up. So with all respect to the other runners in this, it's a pretty low sort of Friday night race, and I think she gets her opportunity, comes here without a trial, so I'm really just backing Turvey judgment in coming here first up, because it's not a common theme. So, it's, like I said, pretty even race, so prepared to have a bet on her and watch market moves after that.
I tell you what, she's always been a nice filly. Obviously, I followed her a little bit because Gary's in our ownership group in Rolling Fire, and I've known Gary for a while, and she beaten a nose in the Bathurst Gold Tiara final as a 2-year-old, and actually ran third in the New South Wales Oaks. So she's raced at some really nice fillies over there, and as you said, comes to WA with a stable with a great record of getting horses in a state and winning with them straight away.
Certainly do, and I've got to tell you, it's a very you're a game man, Bomber. That's and once again another very even open race. Is race 9, plenty of chances, but Eve Crocker, that's some pretty good form you've just reeled off there for us, Michael. So just appreciate that.
That's right.
I didn't know myself because I'm like Bomber. I don't profess to follow the form over there, so I had no idea. But there's some very good form there. And
Jack Callaghan drove her in the Tiara, and she got honestly beat by the barest possible.
Beating the bees, and really the Nathan Turvey stable going very well. Corey Peterson driving well. Race 9, number 6, Eve Crocker for Nathan Turvey and Corey Peterson. What's our staking plan to send us home big winners, Bomber?
Well, Rad's knowledge of New South Wales form has just given me even more confidence here. Morts that 2-unit bet. Like I think if she brings anywhere near her best based on what Rad's has just told us and the runners she faces, I expect her to make a winning WA debut.
And what price do we think we can get about her?
It's a difficult one, I guess. I was thinking probably $2.50 to $3 in this type of field.
Yep. Okay, all right. That's a good way to finish off, Bomber. Race number 9 with Eve Crocker. All right. Now, have you got a multi for us?
I have. I've tossed around on the multi a little bit and eventually came up with just a 2-leg win multi. We'll go kick off with race 5, number 7, Mr. Smarty. Obviously, Stewie's very confident about him, so we'll back his confidence in there, and then we'll move over to race 6, number 1, Steal the Show. I think he'll lead. Imagine Jumping Jack Mac just jumps into the pocket, and as long as Steal the Show can keep him in there, I think he'll lead and win. So we'll just take that 2-legger this week, I think.
Well, he's firmed up since we've spoken, Morts. He's at $1.85 now, Mr. Smarty, and Steal the Show's $1.65. So that all up on Tab Touch is $3.05, the multi for Mr. Smarty into Steal the Show. And the two favourites there. So, race 5. Race 5.
Number 7.
Number 7. And race 6, number 1, is the multi for Bomber at $3.05.
$3.05, I like it. Thank you, Bomber.
All right, Bomber, thanks for your help. Hopefully we find a winner or two. Stewie said that he doesn't like the pressure and didn't think, he should have the pressure stepping into Junior's shoes, but I think you've put more pressure on him, Bomber, with your selections.
Well, I was just thinking about that. It wasn't by design, but, normally the sort of the guys that come on and talk through their chances have a pretty good night. So hopefully that continues tomorrow night.
Fingers crossed, Bomber, that's for sure. We'll look forward to getting out there trackside tomorrow night at Gloucester Park to see how they go.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great night.
Good on you, Bomber. We'll speak to you next week. Scott Bomber Hill. All right, Morts. Now it's time to take a break. Now the last race last week was the 2-year-old fillies, and a bit of an action-packed race. There was a little bit going on. The favourite galloped early and was back to last, and we had Ali Z leading, and then Poppy's Last Dance, who was the other favourite, was back 3 back. The pegs covered up, and D Miller came off the pegs, and then the one in front of it started to stop, so ducked back to the inside and then got off at the right time and came with a sustained run. It was a little bit going on, but a great drive by Dean to navigate it on Poppy's Last Chance.
It was a very good drive, and you would have been very nervous if you had been on at some stage, but did extremely well to get the horse out and get the win.
Yeah, and it was a good performance. Let's go to the break and listen to Poppy's Last Dance getting the cash in the last event on a Retrovision Fremantle Cup night.
Outside just has to keep the pace going to get the money, I'd say. Around the turn, it's Elise, Purely Pandemic. Poppy's Last Dance, the outside comes at Elise now. It's Elise with Poppy's Last Dance and Purely Pandemic, but Poppy's Last Dance surge to the front from Purely Pandemic, and a good win, Poppy's Last Dance. Miller gets it home. Poppy's Last Dance is won by neck. Second, Purely Pandemic.
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater, DL 25174.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Edgerton Green gets to work on the short price favourite. It's Naze Vera in front. Taxi it is, a good staying type. The outside goes toe-to-toe with the favourite. In the lead, it's Naze Vera. Taxi it is goes up. Taxi it is takes a narrow lead. Naze Vera needs to lift. Taxi it is took the lead. They go to the line. Taxi it is, I think, just. Over Naze Vera, back in third with Stellar Edition.
We spoke about it, Mort, so I thought we'd throw it in there, and it was a really tough win.
Yeah, it sure was. It was good. Because the horse that it beat is a handy type, Naze Vera for Dylan Edgerton Green, eventually got to the front, and
they come away and
spotted him a big gap, but he managed to get over the top. Taxi it is at Narrogin last Saturday night,
and she goes around in the last tomorrow night. All right, this segment is brought to you by Bayswater Mazda. Driving is better in a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Roads. Morts. And what a company they are, what a car they are.
Hassle-free driving, Michael. It's just been an absolute dream to drive the Mazda, and more importantly, a Bayswater Mazda, because that's what makes the difference. You get the best service, the best advice, and of course the best coffee there is in Perth. But they've got a great range of used vehicles.
Yep.
Great range and plenty of stock available of all the new CX60, the whole range down there. So get down and see the team. As I said, they'll give you the best advice, the best service, and a great cup of coffee.
They sure will. All right, big weekend of racing this weekend. We've got obviously Gloucester Park on Friday night, and then we head into Bunbury on Saturday. They've got 7 races, the first at 5:25. Sunday, we have Central Wheatbelt, and they have 7 races, first at 1:21. Pinjarra, their fields have just been released, 9 races, the first at 12:20. And Tuesday at Gloucester Park, 9 races there. They've just been released as well, and 5:17 is the first race. But it's time to welcome in our country and provincial form expert in Oliver. Ollie, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Mate, yeah, on a hit-and-run mission in WA. You could have come in the studios with us.
Yeah. We only got here a couple of hours ago, so I've sort of really just landed and, still got an ear blocked and all that sort of stuff.
All right, as long as
of travelling.
As long as you got the head down in the form guide as you were travelling across, that's all that matters.
That's right. Gives you time just to think about it, Ollie. No one to bother you. You can just do the form.
So we're expecting some good things.
I was watching Redcliffe on the way over, so that kept me occupied.
No doubt.
Wow.
No doubt. All right, so we got Bunbury Saturday night. As I said, 7 races. The first at 5:25 happens to be the Retrovision 3-year-old pace. Ollie, have you got any mail for us at Bunbury Saturday night?
I do. In the 5th race, Jingling Jules, it's a race over the short trip at Bunbury. So I think you'd really want to be the leader, and Jingling Jules does look the leader. He was really good last start, showing really good gate speed to find the lead, and was good enough to hold off Beyond Bling late. It's a big field for a race over the short course, so I think there could be a fair bit of traffic back in the field. So I'm thinking Jingling Jules can lead and might get away with a bit, and I'd be happy to save something on Blockjaw, who looks likely to follow him throughout and may get the last shot. So I think anything above about $2 would be pretty good shopping, Jingling Jules. And then I thought a great way to play the last few races would be a multi. I think there are 2 here that look really good chances. In race 4, the State of Art just was amazing, sort of hitting the scene early in a 3-year-old maiden to park outside Vanderbilt, who's still going on with it now, and he looks a nice horse, and parking outside Vanderbilt and going pretty close there was really impressive, and then obviously was just dominant to win her maiden the next start. So I think she can go on with it here and do the work or find the lead. I think either way she'll be too good for these. And then in race 7, Linebacker, very impressive 2-back winner, pretty dominant winner, and then last start just did way too much work in the run, and in the end just was found late tiring, and I don't think it was any knock, and this looks a lot easier, so I think he'll be really hard to beat here. So I think race 4, State of Art, into race 7, Linebacker is a good way to play the last few at Bunbury.
Race 4, number 3, and race 7, number 6. I tell you what, Ollie, Stewie was on earlier, and Bombers tipped a couple of his, and then you've thrown in of State of Art. So we're all in on Stuart McDonald this week on Talking Trots. If he has a bad week, we all have a bad week.
He won't let us down.
No, he won't. The way he's driving, certainly won't. But we're all in on you, Stu. We're chips in. And then we go Central Wheatbelt Sunday. The first race, as I said, 1:21. Sky 2 is where you can watch all the action. What have you got for us at Keller-Barron on Sunday?
In race 3, looks a race with a fair bit of early speed on the front row, I thought, and I thought this could really set up for something to run on late. And Mr. Piccolo's got a really nice trailing draw in 8 here, and I think he's racing really consistently without being able to break through. I think if he can settle nice and close here and there's a bit of early tempo, he'll be really strong to the line and will be hard to beat. Last start, he just ended up 3 back the pegs and only got out late, and once he did get out, he did flush and run quite well, but it was just too late, and the winner was already off and gone. So I think if he can settle close here, he'll be really hard to beat Mr. Piccolo. I'd probably like an each-way price about him given the draw, so looking about $5-6. And then in race 4, I think it looks quite an interesting race, this one, the stand start. It's always tricky around the really tight circuit to sort of come from back in the field, but I do think Roussinol is racing really, really well at the moment. Just made a mistake 2 back at Northam, and that really ended any chance of him figuring there, and then last start just too far back on the peg. So I think Roussinol can run a really good race in race 4 as well.
All right, so that's
race start at Keller-Barron.
Race 3, number 8, and race 4, number 5. Won't stop you, Morts. You'll dive straight in.
Yep.
All right, Ollie, and what about Queensland? Have you got anything for us at Albion Park Saturday night?
It'll be a bit of a wait into race 10.
We're very patient. We're very patient, Ollie.
Bronski Zulu, he's a horse with really good gate speed. I think he's now got the draw advantage on a few key rivals here. He faced last start. He just had no luck there. He came from gate 5 and did way too much work and tired a little bit late, but I thought he was still pretty game in defeat. And then the start prior, he parked out in a 52 mile and was still right there in the finish. So I think he can push on to the lead, and from there he'll be really hard to beat. I think one to save on that's just been racing really, really well is Sheer Artistry. It'll be one that's flying home if they do go too hard. So I think Bronskis will lose the bet, but saving on Sheer Artistry, if it's $5 or $6, I think it's worth saving on.
All right, that's the last race. Race 10, number 2, Bronski Zulu, with a save on the 5, Sheer Artistry. And it's race 10 at Albion Park, and we'll still be going because we're just starting to get into to Bunbury at that stage.
Correct.
And rolling through. So, Ollie, mate, thanks again for your time. Enjoy your brief stint in Perth, and we'll hear you on Monday with Tim and the team on the pace.
Sounds good. Thanks very much, guys.
All right. Beautiful.
Thanks, Ollie.
Thanks, Ollie. Speak to you next week.
Thanks.
There we go. Ollie Cownie. Mort's big show.
It was.
As I said, with chips in on Stuart McDonald. He didn't sound confident when we were speaking about the tips, but the boys haven't worried. They've just kept on going.
By the sounds of it, I think
if they're confident about the ones that he's not confident on, Mr. Smarty's a
should just
complete
win by about the length of the straight. So look forward to that race. Look forward to a lot of races Friday night. Very competitive night. Some of those races were like a couple there. I thought Bomber was brave to dip into because they're very, very open. Wide open, but some good value and some good racing. So looking forward to the Breeders' Stakes as well. Should be good.
Yep, it's a good meeting and good racing across the weekend here in WA, and then Monday, Tuesday again with 9 races at both Pinjarra and Gloucester Park. A weekend off for you, Morts, for your Chargers. They're all
looking forward to it. It's been
full on for you.
It's been a hectic few weeks. It's been awesome. Really has. We've just seen some. We've met some nice people along the way. It's been just a great atmosphere and some great racing, and it's been really good. Enjoyed it.
No, it sure has been, and I think the carnival is just going to get bigger and bigger, particularly into the Nullarbor, into that Fremantle Cup. It's just produced a couple of great races, and so I think it'll get bigger as we move towards as it develops as well, because the same slot holders are 3 years.
3 years
signed on.
The only thing we need, if we could get in writing, is the weather, please, Michael. It was absolutely brilliant.
Wasn't it? It was just great Nullarbor night.
Oh, perfect.
Retrovision was a bit cool. I was a bit worried when I looked out and everyone was in jumpers and out of office.
No, it was still nice, but Nullarbor was perfect.
Yeah.
Particularly after last year was pretty average.
It rained.
It was perfect. There was a great crowd. Haven't seen a crowd like that for a while. It was really good. Good atmosphere.
Yeah.
Terrific. Brilliant.
All right, Morts. Even though you've got no runners, good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.
Your investments go well.
Well, I got one.
Yeah, Mr. Smarty.
Correct.
Everything hinges on him.
If he's gone, if he's out, I'm out.
Yeah. No pressure, Stu, at all. No pressure at all. All right. Thanks for your time. Thanks for Stewie. Thanks for the boys. Thanks for Brave for pressing all the buttons. And until next week, Morgans, it's bye for now.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.